start of his brief big league career.
Well, maybe like the Mets offense, Keith, just back to basics, really, from McLean. I think that his best games early this season, he really established that two-seamer. Now, he's facing a lineup with only 2 left-handed hitters in it, so he's going to have to really get in on those right-handed hitters to set up the great breaking stuff that he has.
It's turned into a beautiful Memorial Day in Citi Field. Temperature right around 70 degrees. The Mets and the Reds for the first of 3. All the action coming up on SNY. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by USAA. This Memorial Day, let's honor what was given. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota's Summer Starts Here event is on now. Toyota, let's go places. By Suffolk Credit Union, be a HELOC hero at Suffolk Credit Union. By Spectrum, it's internet, mobile, and streaming TV, all from one place. And by Genesis, discover the award-winning lineup of Genesis SUVs and sedans at your local tri-state Genesis retailer. Join USAA in honoring our nation's fallen heroes. This Memorial Day and throughout America's 250th year, baseball honors those who've made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Learn how you can support grieving military families at MLBtogether.com. And lest we forget those who have fallen. The Normandy American Cemetery overlooking Omaha Beach. Over 9,000 soldiers who lost their lives in the D-Day landings are buried there, with over 1,500 names on the walls of the missing. The inscriptions on the crosses face west toward home. Nolan McLean set for his 11th start of the year and looking for a bounce back today. Good part about that last start in Washington was that he survived for 5 2/3 innings on a day when he probably should have been out of the game in the second, but the Mets had no bullpen that day, so he persevered. Hyundai starting lineup for the Reds. They've had trouble in the leadoff spot because TJ Friedel and Mac McLean have struggled, so Blake Dunn will move up to the leadoff spot for just the second time. J.J. Bledays had a nice breakout season. Sal Stewart, one of the Rookie of the Year candidates, along with Nolan McLean.
Well, despite the last game, the Toyota numbers are pretty darn good for Nolan McLean. I said in the open that against this lineup that tries to be patient, he should go right after him, especially early. And your car shield defense, your Metsi car shield. Marvito in left field. Taylor in right. And on the infield, it's been basically the big 4 in the same positions, and that's brought to you by Car Shield. Doesn't Haji do a great job with the Car Shield commercial? He does. He does a great job.
Terry Francona in his second year skippering the Reds, who edged out the Mets for the last playoff spot last year. Beat the Mets 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati in September. Blake Dunn takes Nolan McLean's first fastball for a strike, and we're underway. Ronnie mentioned how patient the Reds are. They have the lowest chase rate of any team in baseball and the 4th lowest swing rate, and they have the highest fly ball rate. So what does that tell you? They're looking to draw walks and hit home runs.
Well, especially in their home ballpark. Yeah. That's the right recipe. That's a ballpark where the ball flies.
Blake Dunn is 27 years old. He's had cups of coffee with the Reds the last couple of years. He never hit much, but he can run like the wind. He's got great power. And this year so far, through 37 at-bats, he's hitting. So he's got a chance to lead off.
Great athlete. Hitting coach for the Reds is Chris Valaika. If you remember that name, Pat Valaika was his brother who played in the big leagues.
1-2 coming. And he pokes that one foul on the sweeper.
That's a good pitch right there. I thought that, Ronnie, and correct me if I'm wrong, I thought McLean took a little bit off that breaking ball, and it's a little easier to track for a hitter. He threw that one sharp with good velocity.
And he strikes him out with the sweeper. Nolan McLean takes care of Blake Dunn for the first out of the day.
When you throw a good breaking ball and the hitter is on it on the outside corner, there's 2 things you can do. You can pound him in, or you make sure the next one's a ball because you know he's swinging.
So now Ellie De La Cruz. De La Cruz had a good year last year. He's having a better year this year. 12 homers, 35 driven in. Top 10 in the league in slugging and runs scored and extra base hits. Still only 24 years old. Has already been to the All-Star game twice.
Oh, good breaking ball. Oh, I like how he's throwing it much harder out of the chute here.
Well, the Nats were very aggressive early in the count against him in the game in Washington that he started on Tuesday. And De La Cruz swings and misses at a sinker, and it's 1-2. De La Cruz, not only a great talent, but he posts every day. His 271st consecutive game played. Only Matt Olson and Pete Alonso have longer current streaks. Switch hitter about the same from both sides of the plate. And McLean's curveball drops in for a call, third strike. Back-to-back strikeouts for McLean to start the day.
So he saw a wicked slider in, slider away that missed, slider in for a strike, fastball away, and then that nasty curve.
Dick Carapaz, the crew chief, calling the balls and strikes today. Emil Jimenez, Edwin Moscoso, and Hunter Wendelstedt on the bases. Here's J.J. Bleday, former top draft pick of the Miami Marlins. Played in Sacramento last year. Signed a one-year deal with the Reds and got off to a great start. He's been slumping a little bit lately. 3 for his last 27. Sinker misses away, and it's 2-0 to Bleday.
Got good movement on that fastball here, that sinking fastball. It kind of runs in, bores in on the right-handers.
McLean facing the Reds for the first time. There's only one hitter in the batting order who's ever seen him before, and that's Eugenio Suarez. He's DHing and hitting fifth. So a new experience for these Reds. Bleday yanks that sweeper foul, and it's 2-2.
McLean, his breaking ball is so good that he is going to, at some point, throw a breaking ball to a lefty who's going to swing, and the ball's going to hit him. That's how good it is.
Swing trumps hit. 2-2. Tried the backdoor curveball, missed. 3-2. Sal Stewart, the rookie third baseman, is on deck. There are a lot of good rookies in baseball this year, but the top two in the National League might be the guy on the mound and the guy on deck. Strike 3 called, and McLean strikes out the side in the opening inning. Terrific start for McLean. Mets come to bat in the bottom of the first with no score. Nation flying the flag today, honoring those who've given their lives in service to our country on this Memorial Day, formerly known as Decoration Day. Folks used to decorate the graves of the Civil War dead. Nick Lodolo, the tall left-hander, on the mound for the Reds today, facing Carson Bench, who's DHing this afternoon. Bench takes inside from Lodolo, ball 1.
When Lodolo's healthy, he can be one of the best left-handers in the league. He started the season on the IL, just coming back, hasn't rounded into form yet.
He's missed a lot of time, but never because of arm problems. He's had lower body problems, but mostly he's had blister issues, and that's what put him on the injured list for the first month and a half this year. Ben's trying to snap an 0 for 14 stretch after going hitless in Miami. Now that one hits him in the back.
That didn't hurt. It got him in the soft spot.
Okay. Curveball that did not curve, and the Mets have a leadoff base runner. There's the Honda Mets starting lineup. Marcus Semien moves up into the cleanup spot. That's going with as many right-handed bats as possible, with Soto out of the lineup and Lodolo on the mound. Bichette hitting second in the order. And he takes a fastball strike. With that hit by pitch, Lodolo has now hit 61 batters since he debuted. Only Charlie Morton has more in that stretch, and Morton, you know, is retired.
Well, Lodolo will hit a lot of right-handers too because he pitches into the right-hander. Got one of the lowest arm slots of any left-hander in the game, which produces lots of movement. His fastball's been hit hard since coming off the IL, though.
Well, Bichette has 4 of his 5 home runs this year against left-handed pitching. And he takes a fastball for strike 3 call. No challenge from Bichette, and that's the first out.
You called it, Ron. He likes to pitch in. You know, hitters are most vulnerable inside with 2 strikes. That nipped the corner. Good. That's a pitcher's pitch.
So 1 out and 1 on. Now Mark Vientos sitting 3rd in the order. Mark's hitting .309 against lefties this year. And with so much of the Mets lineup missing, Soto out today, and who knows, hopefully back tomorrow, and Lindor and Polanco and Robert and Alvarez all out, a lot falls on Mark Vientos to be a more consistent hitter.
Your Moo Reds defense. You've got the former first baseman over there, Nathaniel Lowe, won the Gold Glove in 2023 for the Texas Rangers. Of course, the all-star shortstop Ellie De La Cruz with a cannon of an arm.
Vientos swings over the top of the changeup, and it's 1-2.
Really playing Vientos pull on the left side of the infield. Oh. Yeah, not so bad. Pretty much straight up. A little shade to the pull. My mistake.
Benj at first and 1 out.
Boy, did he step over, Ron?
Not really. 6'6", 220 pounds is Lodolo. Loves to come back inside now with that fastball and that 1-2 count.
Marcus Semien waiting on deck. And Vientos goes down swinging on a high fastball. So Lodolo, after a hit by pitch with back-to-back strikeouts, 2 away.
Well, he's trying to match McClain's first inning here. He's all elbows, Ronnie. He hides the ball well. It's hard to pick up.
Got that Chris Sale kind of look
Yeah.
out there. Sean Manaea when he's at his best.
Larry McWilliams. I didn't like the funky chicken guys that, you know, delivered like a funky chicken.
Here's Marcus Semien. Marcus had a very rough road trip, going 3 for 26 across the 7 games. Carlos Mendoza was asked today, well, why do you have Semien hitting cleanup? He said, well, Soto's not playing. Look at my bench. He's one of our guys. He's batting cleanup. He's quickly down to the count 0-2, and I think that was his way of saying we just don't have a lot of pieces right now.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
Also, the first 5 minutes of a 10-minute Carlos Mendoza back and forth to the media was spent on injured players.
There goes Benj, and the 0-2 pitch inside. Stevenson's throw is a good one, and he got him. That's really been struggling stealing bases over the last couple of weeks. Benj is thrown out, 2-4 on the caught stealer.
Wanted.
Second inning, no score. Sal Stewart leads off against Nolan McLean. Stewart, the 22-year-old from Miami, came up late last year, and by the time the Reds got to the postseason, he was their cleanup hitter.
Got 12 home runs right there. He's tied for the team lead with De La Cruz.
Played only 18 games last year, hit 5 home runs.
Really worked hard this winter, lost 20 pounds. That's what Terry Francona told him. He said, listen, you're going to be a great hitter, but you need to lose some weight so you can play every day.
Well, and he's getting to play his natural position at third base right now as he fouls up all at the plate because Ke'Bryan Hayes is hurt. Stewart's been playing mostly first base or DHing early in the season.
Stewart comes from where we just left, Miami.
As Terry Francona, second year managing the Reds, got them to the postseason last year. And Stewart gets drilled.
Does he have no padding too? Or got him in the rib? It looks like another one in the rib.
It was on a changeup by McLean. hurts.
Colin Cowboy, first base coach, waving away the trainer.
Was that you sure that was a changeup?
Yeah. 88.
88 in the ribs still hurts. Oh,
Just like Jacob Young got hit by Christian Scott last week in Washington. So now Eugenio Suarez back with the Reds, with whom he played 7 years before moving on. And Suarez pokes one to right. In comes Benjel off the plate on a hop. And in at second is Stewart. Suarez with an opposite field single, and the Reds have the first 2 men on.
usually Suarez is an all or nothing hitter. Looks for something to pull. But he went the other way on the first pitch. And Stewart here gets caught in the middle. Okay. He didn't want to get hit again.
So McLean in some second inning trouble. Here's Nathaniel Lowe, who's having a resurgent season. Lowe played with the Nats last year before being traded to Boston late in the season. And 18 home runs and a 689 OPS. So his OPS is up about 200 points from last year.
He's hitting .333 with runners in scoring position. That's 11 for 33. He had him step off there. You see Torrens, because they weren't sure. Torrens wasn't sure what he had called there, because there was a couple of shakes by Nolan.
Sinker misses out of the strike zone, and McLean putting himself in the soup behind 2-0.
So they got a double play guy here. If he can get him on the ground, get him to the pitcher's best friend.
2-0 sweeper, and now behind 3-0 with Spencer Steer, the on-deck batter.
McLean's given up 23 runs this year. 11 of them have come in the first couple of innings.
And the last start, the second and third inning, were his undoing. And there's a strike, 3-1. The most unexpected number on McLean this year, the opponent's batting average against him is .204, but with runners in scoring position, it's .297, which is a little startling.
Good pitch.
To the low. Stewart the runner at second. Suarez at first. Neither runs particularly well. Bounced foul on a 3-2 curveball.
Well, he had everything working in the first inning. Dunn went down on a sweeper. Beautiful pitch in the dirt. And Ellie De La Cruz on a big hook that finds the strike zone. And then a fastball catches Bleday looking.
Pitching decisions presented by Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball. Again, the 3-2, and Lowe takes it up and in for ball 4. No challenge from Torrens, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out.
I thought it was up here. He tried to come back in. It really had a lot of plate. It just was up. You know, it's early. That might have been one worth challenging. Okay. He's going to get Justin Willard out there to have a little chat.
Ronnie, a guy comes to the big leagues, enjoys massive instant success, and now he's taken a punch in the mouth the last start, and he comes back today. What does that feel like?
Well, I think there's a couple of things. One, you tend to forget how young he is into his career. He doesn't have that much experience. His pitches might be polished, but he's not polished yet. And he needs to go through all these different circumstances also. And this is big. Every team in the league knows Nolan McLean, and they want to take him down. That happens.
There's Spencer Steer, Vientos in, everybody else back. And the first pitch fastball for a strike.
Well, I don't understand Vientos in. He's moved back a little bit on the cut of the grass. You're going to give up the run, play everybody back.
Steer hits one on the ground. That should be a double play. The glove flip by Bichette. The turn by Semien, not in time. Bichette made the glove flip, and the ball hung in the air for a while. That might have cost them the double play. A run's going to score in any event, and the Mets are not going to challenge it.
I wouldn't advise the glove flip because it has too much air underneath it, in my opinion.
Close. I agree with you, Ron.
So it's a 6-4 fielder's choice. Steer drives on the run. It's 1-0 Cincinnati. And off the bat, that ball looks like a sure double play. There's Tyler Stevenson, the catcher and number 8 hitter.
Give Steer credit. He hustled down that line.
This is a Reds team that has a lot of team speed. Steer is not the fastest guy on their team by any means, but he beat that play out. And now Stevenson, who's having his roughest year at the plate so far, 7th year with Cincinnati, hitting just 179. And he takes a sinker for a strike, and it's 1-1. A hit batsman, a single and a walk loading the bases. A fielder's choice bringing in a run, and now McLean trying to limit the damage, looking to get the double play ball from Stevenson. Gets that one in for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Boy, he took 2 fastballs. Groundhog Day.
And it's subtle, but the defense behind McLean could be a lot better.
1-2 to Stevenson with McLean on deck. That's Matt McLean.
Oh,
and that one bounces away from Torrens, and that'll bring in a run. Suarez comes in to score on the wild pitch, and it's 2-0 Cincinnati.
overthrowing that slider, Ronnie.
Yeah, he just wanted to throw, snap one off as much as he could, and he did, and no chance for Torrens to make a play.
We talked about McLean in spring training, and I just felt this, there's very few Seavers and Gibsons that come up, and here's the pitch, and it's just difficult play for any catcher.
Swing and a miss, and Stevenson's down on strikes for the second out.
It's a learning year here, and hitters are going to catch up and get on to what your stuff is, and it's not going to be a cakewalk. And every game, as you said, Ron, every game is a new experience and something to build on. And it's not going to be a cakewalk.
So now Matt McLean, the second baseman and number 9 hitter, takes a sweeper outside. So you got McLean, McLean against McLean, McLean. Matt McLean fouls it off. McLean, former first-round draft pick out of UCLA. He was tremendous when he first came up in 2023, but then he missed all of 24 with a shoulder injury and did not hit nearly as well last year, and up to a slow start this year. 0 for his last 15. And he foul tips one, and it's 1-2.
And knocked the glove because it was off the bat of McLean. Knocked the glove of Torrens off. He's got that Velcro wrist guard, though, that kind of holds the glove onto his wrist.
Francisco Alvarez looking on. He was doing some catching drills and taking some at-bats today in the cage, which is amazing. 2 weeks after meniscus surgery, they felt as though Alvarez's timeline would be 8 weeks. He is trying to beat that timeline by a lot.
They're going to have to slow him down because you don't want to. I mean, I love it that he's trying to come back so quickly, but you don't want him to hurt it again.
Rounded to short. Bichette comes into one-handed. A low throw, and Vientos handles that. Reds scratch out a couple of runs and lead 2-0 in the second.
Look at this.
Marcus Semien leads off in the second and grounds one to shortstop. Billy De La Cruz gets in front of it and throws him out. 1 pitch and 1 retired for Lodolo in the second. Stay after the Mets Marlins game this Friday, May 29th. For a fireworks show, weather permitting. Get your tickets now at Mets.com/fireworks. Now A.J. Ewing batting 5th in the order. Batted third yesterday and had a couple of hits.
Yeah, late scratch by Soto, so they just moved Ewing up into that third hole.
Starting his 13th big league game. And he takes a fastball for a strike from Lodolo. So in the first inning, Carson Bench was caught stealing. The Mets have now been caught stealing 14 times this year. They have 29 steals. Last year, for the entire season, the Mets were caught stealing 18 times. They had 147 steals. It's hit hard through the hole, and Ewing's got a base hit.
This kid keeps his front shoulder in against the left-handed pitcher.
There is no doubt. And he is now 3 for 12 against lefties. But he stays in. I mean, I think that he has the potential to be the third hitter on this team. The line drive hitter, hits both lefties and righties.
Might be the leadoff hitter.
Could be the leadoff hitter, too, because he walks.
There's Tyrone Taylor getting the start in right field today. Takes a strike.
But right now with the Mets don't have a third hitter. They just don't.
Would you rather see Benj in the third hole?
I don't know if I want to put them in that position.
Taylor drops down a beauty of a bunt. Lodolo fires and gets him. Deadened that ball beautifully. Bunting for a hit, but Lodolo made the recovery and threw him out.
Similar bunt that Brujan made, not as high in Washington, if you recall.
The hole with the bases loaded?
Yes.
Well, the wingspan of Lodolo was able to get over there and corral that ball and throw a strike.
Sure did.
They will give Taylor credit for a sacrifice. 1-3 on the putout. Runner in scoring position for Nick Morabito, looking for his first big league hit. Playing his first game at Citi Field. Joined the Mets in Washington, his hometown.
Boy, that ball searched for him in his debut in Washington. He made a fine catch against the wall, almost robbed Wood, who wound up getting that inside the park home run, but he almost made that play against the wall. So he is a quality fielder.
I understand Nick wants to get his first hit, but you can't be bunting for a hit with 2 out and runner at second.
But
you just can't do it.
We're down by 2 runs. So these are young kid mistakes that you should know before you come north or south.
1-2 to Morabito. Brett Beatty sitting 8th in the order on deck. That's were 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position yesterday. They've gone 4 for 26 in the last 6 games. They had a 17-inning span in Miami where they didn't have a runner in scoring position, which is an even bigger issue. 1-2 coming, and that's way outside as he tried to throw that curveball. And Stevenson did a good job lunging.
You know, I just noticed that ad behind home plate with Dunkin' Donuts sipping like it's 1986. That coffee's got to be seriously stale.
A little acidic, perhaps. Three and 2 now to Morabito. Well, if you think the coffee's bad, the donuts might be a little, you know.
Yeah, that old fashioned might be a little hard now.
Oh, the donuts be like bricks.
Very old fashioned. 3 and 2 to Morabito. And Nick takes a fastball for strike 3 call. Third strikeout for Lodolo. 2-0 Reds after 2. Well, it was nice to see Francisco Lindor out on the field and doing some movement, coming back from a calf injury. He's been taking some swings in the cage as well, exercising that calf, trying to work his way back. Blake Dunn takes up and in, and the ball hit him or the bat. Did he offer at it? He did. It's a strike. He got hit by the pitch, but because he offered at the bunt, it's 0-1.
If the bat or hand is not in the way, or both, it's going to hit him in the face, I think, here. Am I right? Maybe not. No. He pulled away.
That's the David Cohn injury, right? The hand in front of the bat when it should be behind it.
Yep. Is that 85? Yes.
87.
87.
Did you feel like he offered there at that?
It's close.
Yeah.
He pulled it back.
I thought he was pulling it back.
Neil Jimenez, the first base umpire, said he offered. So done a painful strike. McLean struck him out his first time up. Holmes already hit a batter that counted. That was Sal Stewart leading off in the second, and he came around to score. Dunn wasn't called up until 3 weeks ago. This is the 9th game he started. He's gotten off to a fast start this year with the Reds. And he went around on that swing, and it's 1-2. Last year, Dunn played 30 games for the Reds, and he hit 150. So this is new territory for him. Now the 1-2. And the sweeper misses way outside. It's 2-2. Fouled away. McLean has struck out 4 over the first 2 innings, given up only 1 hit. But a hit batsman, a walk, and a wild pitch conspiring to bring in a couple of runs. Ellie De La Cruz waiting on deck. Slow ground ball. In comes Beatty to field and fire. Off the back, Vientos, but he got him. First base umpire Neil Jimenez saying he stayed on long enough.
Are they going to challenge this?
Reds
No,
challenge. They do not. So as Ellie De La Cruz comes up, we're going to try a little something different with Keith putting himself in the mind of De La Cruz facing the plate.
Okay, if you're watching too, and these guys, if I'd seen McLean some video and I realized that he has a fastball that runs away from me, sometimes it's flat, sometimes it sinks. He's got the big breaking ball. His changeup really is a third pitch, doesn't throw it too often. So my feeling, my approach would be to go up the middle, and like I said in the open, you're going to get a fastball. Sit on the fastball away, middle away, and he pops you inside. I was very good, Gary, at anticipating when a pitcher wanted to pitch me in, particularly with runners on scoring position. I was good at that for some reason. I had a premonition. And he does it. And that's an out pitch for him against left-handers when he comes in. Now, if I had heard him the at bat before on a pitch away into the left center field gap, let's say, I'm going to go up the next time and look in first pitch because I heard him away. Now I think he's going to try to pop me in. For a strike, I might look in.
So we've seen a high fastball and a changeup away. What are you looking for now?
I've been going up the middle.
And he goes down swinging on the fastball.
So you see how that ball runs away? If you're sitting up the middle, and De La Cruz is a different hitter than me. He hits more home runs. He pulls more. I love the ball middle away, and that was right into my strength. And I remember, I haven't used it much. Lou Brock told me, "Where's your strength? Where do you like the ball?" "I like the ball away, Lou." He says, "So do I." "Then why are you worried inside? You're looking into your weakness. Look into your strength." That resonated with me, and that stuck with me.
J.J. Bleday cracks one to deep right center, and that ball's going to sail into the bullpen. A long home run for J.J. Bleday, his 7th of the year, and the Reds extend their lead to 3-0.
Wow, he clocked that one. That was a sinker that didn't sink, or a fastball that did not run away. It was over the, probably down the middle or outer half. Outer half, he's on top of the plate. Played pretty straight, right, Ron?
Yeah, that's the two-seamer that didn't move.
Home runs have been coming too frequently from McLean. Gave up 2 in his last start in D.C. Gave up a home run in his prior start in the first inning. And then He's able to pitch shutout ball against the Tigers for 6 more innings, but the long ball hits him again.
So here's the home run. It's no overswing. Hardly any follow through. You don't have to swing from your shoelaces to hit the ball a mile.
Torrens already drilled once in the wrong spot in this inning and then hit again there.
Leday hit 14 home runs all season for Sacramento last year. Got 7 this season, just a third of the way into the year. 1-2 coming to Stewart, and the curveball stays inside. 2-2.
Let's see the location. I bet you it's outer half middle. Oh boy, I was right. And he's on top of the plate, so that barrel's going to cover the entire plate.
That was a 2-seam guy, so when you throw that 2-seamer, you aim sort of down the middle, and it filters down and away. And if it doesn't filter, that's what happens.
Swing and a miss. He gets Stewart with a sinker to end the inning. 6 strikeouts from McLean, but Leday's home run makes it 3-0 Reds. Brett Beatty leads off the home third and takes a curveball strike from Nick Lodolo. Beatty dropped to 8th in the order against the left-hander, went 1 for 7 in the series in Miami. Beatty, Torrens, and Benj as the Mets try to work uphill. 2 straight breaking balls from Lodolo have Beatty in a 0-2 hole.
Yeah, Beatty has struggled against left-handers. He's 5 for 28 with only 2 extra base hits, 2 doubles, 179 BA. So he's had a rough run against the lefties this year.
He was not necessarily in the lineup every day against lefties early in the season, but with the Mets as decimated as they are by injuries, Beatty's out there every day against left and right. We told you about Lindor being on the field. We told you about Alvarez maybe coming back quicker than expected. Polanco is going to be going out in rehab later this week. Ground ball to the left side, backhanded by Stewart. The long throw right on target. Nicely done by Stewart to get Beatty for the first out.
Showed a good arm there, didn't he? And make him smile.
Well, we mentioned he's been playing mostly first base this year, but this is his natural position.
I mean, he made it look as natural as you can. That was not an easy play. He made it look easy.
Reds have a Gold Glove third baseman and keep Ryan Hayes, but he's hurt right now, so Stewart getting a chance to play there. Making like Hayes.
What did Major League hit like Mays, run like Hayes?
Luis Torrens takes inside ball 1. Torrens 2 for 17 on the road trip just concluded. That's went 2 and 5 on the trip. Torrens getting the bulk of the playing time with Alvarez down.
All right, Keith, here you go. You were talking about it. Here's 2-0. Going to get a fastball with a 3-0 lead.
Well, Torrens is a table setter here,
Yeah.
you know, and he's looking to get a base hit.
Another chance for Stewart. An easy one this time. 2 out. Stock up, stock down. Presented by Moo Moo. The Diamondbacks have won 7 of their last 8. Ketel Marte, a big part of that. The Guardians with a 4.5 game lead in the AL Central now. The Blue Jays had won 4 in a row before yesterday. Okamoto, after a nice run, has struggled. And the Cubs lost today. They're 9th in a row.
Oh, those poor Cubs.
What do you got against the Cubs?
He played for the
Hey, I was a Cardinal.
The Cubs had 2 10-game winning streaks. Now they have a 9-game losing streak. Henry Davis had the deciding home run in that game in the 7th for the Pirates.
Good pitch.
1-1 to Carson Bench.
Well, it's a tough left-hander. It's not an easy mark here for a left-handed hitter. You got your work cut out for you.
Bench chases that curveball out of the strike zone. It's 1-2.
If you're a lefty matchup against Lodolo, you got to look middle away because you're not going to get anything inside. I think the pitch you got to lay off is the high fastball. He likes to get you to swing at that when he's got you 2 strikes.
Larry McWilliams.
And DHing for the first time in his brief big league career. He's hit by a pitch his first time up. And Carson socks that one into center field. It's down for a base hit. Nicely done by Bench to go to left center for the Mets' second hit of the day.
I cannot tell you how impressive these 2 youngsters are for me. This is a tough left-hander right here.
And they got 2 hits, Keith.
So that's a good at bat. Benj has got kind of a funny run, doesn't he? It's just the way he runs.
Bench was caught stealing in the first inning. And cut by Bo Bichette, 0-1. Bichette was struck out looking his first time up. After his good series in Washington, now just 1 hit in his last 15 at bats. Fouls off the curveball, and it's 0-2. Well, those were supposed to be the 3 big bats in the Mets lineup. Soto's held up his end. Lindor got off to a slow start. Bichette has struggled right through it, and they've rarely been able to play together. Soto came back the day Lindor got hurt. Bichette's been out there every day, still trying to get his feet under it. Lines that one foul. He was late on that fastball.
Let's see if Lodolo, he was supposed to throw that ball in, how he struck out Bichette before. Not many pitchers in today's game double up on that ball, and let's see if he comes right back in there.
Nope.
Those are the changeup and misses, 1-2.
Question, Ron. When you wanted to make a pitch in and you missed, were you aware that you missed?
100%. So that's why you could come back in there, because you never established that inside.
And that one's grounded through the hole into right field, a base hit. Benj will go first to third. So Bichette reaching out and poking that ball the other way, just beyond the reach of Nathaniel Lowe. And the Mets have runners in the corners with 2 out.
Well, this ball was out of the strike zone. Up out of the strike zone, almost around the chin. Lowe did not come off the bag right. I can't blame him because Bichette goes the opposite field.
Lowe is a former Gold Glover, but he's played very little first base this year. He's mostly DH. It's only the 6th game he started at first base. So now Mark Vientos comes to bat as the tying run. Mark was struck out his first time up. Bench at third, Bichette at first with 2 out. And Vientos, it's a slow bounce to the short. De La Cruz will go to first with it, and that retires the side. 2 hits and 2 left for the Mets. 3-0 Reds.
Lieutenant Colonel Matthew Pride has served our country as a member of the United States Army for over 20 years after commissioning in 2006 from the United States Military Academy at West Point, New York. During that time, Matthew served overseas in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom. Throughout his career, Matthew has served as the leader of both large and small multidisciplinary teams across an array of operational, functional, and training organizations. For his efforts, Matthew received 2 Bronze Star medals, 5 Meritorious Service Medals, 5 Army Commendation Medals, and 1 Army Achievement Medal. Today, Matthew serves as the Professor of Military Science for the City University of New York and St. John's University Senior Army ROTC programs. Clover commends those who served. And here he is, our veteran of the game, Matthew Pride. Presenting Matthew with an American flag that is flown over Citi Field is David Peterson.
Clover and SNY commend today's veteran of the game, along with those who served our nation and military community. Eugenio Suarez takes a strike as we start the 4th inning. Suarez had a base hit to right field, scored a run in the 2nd. Suarez spent last year playing for Arizona and Seattle. With 49 home runs in total last year, matching his career high. And yet he sat on the free agent market all winter before the Reds re-signed him for a 1-year deal. A nice postseason for Seattle as well. 3 home runs in the postseason.
Second go around for Suarez in Cincinnati.
Catcher's challenging the call. Ball.
Lorenz challenges the call. It was ball 3. And it stays ball 3.
All right, I got to pay attention there. I like Pup being the umpire here on the
It is powered by T-Mobile.
Sorry, Gary, I didn't mean to step on you with that sponsor.
Apologize to me. Apologize to T-Mobile. That's a walk to Suarez. The second walk given up by McLean. Comes leading off in the 4th inning. Another uneven start for McLean. His 2nd in a row. But for the most part, the Mets pitchers have held up their end. It's continued to sit 4th in the National League in staff ERA. The starters and the bullpen have both held the fort. It's just the Mets have not scored enough runs to support them. But today, McLean having a 2nd straight rough outing. Nathaniel Lowe walked his first time up. The Reds had yesterday off. They were rained out with the Cardinals Friday, played a doubleheader Saturday, rained out yesterday. In both games of the doubleheader on Saturday, Nathaniel Lowe hit a home run. Lowe breaks his bat as he flies one down the right field line. That may fall in, and it does. Fair ball. Suarez heading to 3rd. Lowe pulls in at 2nd base with a fly ball double. And the Reds have runners at 2nd and 3rd.
That is a bloop double. I mean, the only reason that stayed fair is because he broke his bat, so it had no spin on it. So
Right.
just on the line.
On the chalk.
Right in the center of the white line. So now the Mets have to bring their infield in. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. Spencer Steer, the batter. Steer drove in the 1st run with a fielder's choice, and he grounds that one foul.
I really like Steer. Of all their young players, I think he has great versatility. He can play at first base as good as anyone, but he can also play in the outfield, 2nd base, and
Fastball right there for a strike, and it's 0-2. The Reds ran out to a lead early in the season in the National League Central. They were 20-11 in late April. With 7-14 since. Every team in the division is over 500. The Cubs led for a while, but they've faded, losing 9 in a row. So it's the Brewers on top, as usual. 0-2. I mean, the last, what is it, 3 years, only one team in baseball has more wins than the Brewers, and that's the Dodgers. Every year, they figure out a way. 1-2. Up the middle, and that'll bring in 2 runs. Suarez is in, Lowe being waved home. The throw to the plate by Ewing was not in time. A 2-run single for Spencer Steer puts the Reds up 5-0.
I tell you what, Ewing would have thrown him out if he didn't double clutch coming out of the exchange from his glove. That was the difference. He made a beautiful throw home.
He threw out a runner at the plate yesterday.
I mean, Lowe doesn't run well, and walks the double clutch here, trying to get it out of his glove, and that is the difference. He charges beautifully. I mean, the perfect throw. One hop. What more can you ask for? Hit the cutoff man.
We saw yesterday's game. Ewing charges the ball a little bit like Juan Lagares used to charge the ball.
It's an excellent call.
You know, he hits the cutoff man, and the back runner, well, Steer, they've got the base hit, can't advance to second base.
It's the throw he yesterday's similar hit.
Should never have sent him. But it was a two-hopper.
But again, it was low. The runner couldn't advance, and he throws out the runner at home.
Now Tyler Stevenson, still nobody out in the inning. So McLean, who was charged with 6 earned runs in his last start in Washington, has given up 5 already today in 3 innings plus.
He's lost his breaking ball, Garrett. He's lost command of it. He's missing. It's been his out pitch, and he hasn't been able to put the hitter away with it.
When you have a breaking ball that's as big and nasty as McLean's, you got to get it in pitchers' counts, because that way they'll chase. You don't have to always throw it for a strike, but he's been behind a lot.
And that smash deep down the left field line. That ball's going to sail out of here, and it's 7-0 Cincinnati. As Tyler Stevenson, the Rockets are hung on. A 2-run shot, his 4th of the year. And the Reds have broken this game open. In his first 7 starts, Nolan McLean gave up a total of 2 home runs. He's now given up 6 home runs in his last 4 starts, including today.
Well, we struck out Stevenson and got the ball a lot of swing and miss on that 2-seamer inside, and Stevenson was looking this time for that pitch.
This one was a sinker ball. It did sink, but it just had too much of the middle. Well, that's not the middle.
But he was looking in there.
Yes, he was.
He's aiming that breaking ball now. You can just see it.
He doesn't know what speed to throw it. Once he threw that wild pitch with it that went to the backstop, he hasn't found the feel since then.
And I do think he has to throw it harder. He can't let up on it. So he just has to hone it.
Matt McLean grounds one out to short. The chef throws him out for the first out of the inning.
Well, he just got the barrel out. And that thing went out in a hurry. Oh, be careful, young man.
Blake Dunn takes a big rip and misses. 3rd time around the batting order now for McLean. Dunn is struck out and grounded out. Let's get some warm-up action going with McLean getting hit around the ballpark. Austin Warren is up in the Mets bullpen.
Best Swiss Army knife the Mets have.
Got that one. Nick's done, and he'll go to first base.
So it's just all falling apart here.
Second batter that McLean has hit today, 7th this year, and Carlos Mendoza on his way out to the mound. Warren has not been up for long, but he's coming into this game. So Nolan McLean lasts just 3 1/3 today. Great first inning, but everything after that, ugly. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Nissan. Shop NissanUSA.com. McLean out, Warren in. Car Shield presents streaming of SNY on the MLB app. Stay on top of all the amazing action with an enhanced user experience. Scan the code to download the MLB app today. Austin Warren had not been up for long when the call went to the bullpen, so he threw a few more pitches in the bullpen. The clock that they used to time the reliever's entrance was ticking down, and he was still throwing out there, so he only got to throw 2 pitches from the mound. Oh. Last pitched on Wednesday in Washington, gave up a couple of runs, which has been a rarity. Only De La Cruz fouls off his first sweeper, 0-1.
You know, Warren had the bad outing, his only bad outing really, in Washington, and he's pretty rested. And he has just been really, I think I call him the bulldog of that bullpen.
De La Cruz struck out twice against McLean. Nolan McLean, the shortest outing of his major league career, 3 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 7 runs so far, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 2 hit batsmen, a wild pitch, and 2 home runs across 78 pitches. Dunn a base stealer at first. He's edging away. And Warren almost picked him off.
Needed a little lower tag. I think Vientos' tag was a little high because they had him. He's leaning. Ooh, close. Now I'll take that back. Mark did a nice job of getting it to the back of the bag. But he missed the hand that kept up on the wrist.
Dunn did a better job going to the back of the bag. Not just the back corner, but the back edge. De La Cruz got jammed and fouled one off.
Oh. Little redhead.
Time to bring the kids to the ballpark.
Rusty.
Ginger.
Ginger now.
Yep.
De La Cruz chops one out to Simeon. He goes to second for 1. The relay to first not in time.
Oh, he can run.
So a 4-6 fielder's choice for the second out.
No, watch him gallop. You're not going to double me up.
Yeah, he runs like a sprinter, like a 440 man.
2 years ago, De La Cruz stole 67 bases. Last year he dialed it back a little bit and stole 37. This year he's at 9. He's also been caught 5 times this year. He was not ready to run on that first pitch. The oven mitt was still being assembled. J.J. Bleday homered into the bullpen in right center in the 3rd. His 7th home run of the year.
Well, they got a fastball that didn't sink. Remember, he was on top of the plate and was up as well.
Day began the year in the minor leagues. He wasn't called up till late April.
Never did find his footing being that #1 pick, like you said, Gary, of the Marlins. But I thought he did a lot of good work for the A's last year. With so many young outfielders, though, with the Athletics.
Now 28 years old, Vanderbilt product. Trying to wait on that sweeper and fouled it off 2-2.
I think I should explain a little about Austin Warren coming out of the bullpen. I'm sure the bench called down and said, get Warren up and get him up quick. So then you have the bullpen coach who's out there, and he's saying, hey, let's go, let's go, let's go. Then the phone rings, and someone says, hey, is he ready? The coach can say no, but the pitcher can say, no, I'm good. I'm ready to go. And I think that's what had to happen.
Warren comes close again to a pickoff. Well, there are ways of wasting time.
Yeah.
But the Mets did not really do that. As soon as Dunn was hit by the pitch, Mandy popped out of the dugout and he was on his way to the mound.
The Mets bench was as shocked as the fans and even us in the booth at what happened so quickly.
Well, what's that song Mama said? There'd be days like this.
De La Cruz gets set to take off. Dantro's playing behind him. And a half swing, and he stopped it in time. Ball 4. So Lede is aboard. And the Reds have 2 men on.
It's this send their 9th man to the plate this inning. He did not swing.
So 2 out and 2 on for Sal Stewart. Stewart was hit by a pitch and scored in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd. So he tried to time that sweeper and fouled it off. 0-1. So you've taken it on the chin twice in a row now as a young player. It's only his 16th major league start today.
Your life is flashing before your eyes. Your baseball life. You're thinking thoughts like, I mean, I had good stuff. What happened? And you start going over pitch by pitch and what you could have done better, what you should have changed, and it's ongoing until 5 days from now.
Well, I like his idea in the McLean, that is, that he was going to throw his slider harder. He can't throw that softer one. And there's strike 3 to end the inning. So he just lost command of it.
4 runs for the Reds knocked McLean out of the box in the 4th. Well, on this Memorial Day, a good look at the Intrepid Museum. Intrepid was originally launched in 1943, survived 5 kamikaze attacks and 1 torpedo strike during World War II. Decommissioned in 1974, put back to work after 9/11 as the field headquarters for the FBI. Great place to visit on the west side of Manhattan. Marcus Semien leads off in the home 4th inning. We check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Gary, we know how much Marcus Semien is struggling to start this year, and one of the things that we're seeing out of him is he's chasing more than he ever has at any point previous in his career. It's something that Semien is well aware of. He said that right now he just feels like he's not catching up to the fastball, and so he is starting things early, which is something that you don't want to do. He can't pick up the breaking pitches, and he's chasing those breaking pitches because he is trying to start a little too soon. So right now, searching Marcus Semien at the plate, certainly not alone in this lineup.
That makes perfect sense, Steve.
Lines that one into center field, and Marcus Semien has a leadoff hit.
When you're not catching up to the fastball, your brain, you think you have to start early to catch up. So your tendency is to start everything early, and therefore you are out in front. Then you can't hit the breaking ball. You start fishing, going out of the strike zone, and you know it's just not good if you're a hitter.
Keith, is there more doubt and turmoil in your thinking if you're an older player?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to fight that. Am I over the hill? I can't get around anymore. Have I lost it? Those thoughts go in your head. It's like, gosh, I used to hit that pitch. Why am I missing it? You know, I'm late, and you know you're late. Why am I not getting there? And then the thoughts are, oh, am I getting older? Have I lost it? There's it's a big mental battle.
Grounded down to first, handled by Lowe, out at second. De La Cruz to first, not nearly in time to get the speedy Ewing. So they get the 3-6 fielder's choice for the first out.
Well, they got one in the hole before, but this one he hit right at Lowe.
So 1 out and 1 on for Tyrone Taylor. In those struggles that you're talking about, Keith, is there a team element as well?
Is there a what?
A team element, that if your team is struggling as badly as it is, does it exacerbate what you're going through?
Yes, absolutely. It snowballs. And this team right now, they're not hitting. I was on some teams early in my career, very early with the Cardinals, that did not hit. And when you're young, it puts a lot of pressure on you. That's what's been so impressive about Ewing and Benj playing under these conditions and really doing well. It shows a lot about their mental strength. But you got human beings out here, and the veterans, it does snowball, no question.
Also, the way they're not hitting for a lot of power. You're a guy that used to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Are you trying to do that as well? You know, it's a.
I had the good fortune to play for two entirely different teams.
So I got a little quick on that.
You know, the Mets, we had power. I was a third hitter. I didn't have to. That was beautiful for me to have Strawberry, Carter, McReynolds, Hojo, Kevin Mitchell. But the Cardinals, we had to punch our hits because we were not a power hitting team. We were a fast team, stole bases.
And how did that affect how you approach your at-bats?
I never changed. I am what I am, and I'm going to slump, and I can't do anything different. I have to stay within what my strengths are. So.
But you can see why there'd be a tendency, for instance, if you're playing for a team that does not have a lot of power, to try and seek power.
Yes, and the Cardinal teams compensated with leading the league in stolen bases all the time. We had jackrabbits in a big ballpark in AstroTurf, and you get a double in the gap. You didn't have to worry about Ozzie Smith or Willie McGee scoring on a double from in the gap. They scored when they were on first base.
2-2 to Tyrone Taylor, who laid down a bunt his first time up. Morbido on deck. Reds 7 runs and 5 hits. The Mets no runs and 4 hits. We're in the 4th. Taylor fouls off the curveball to stay on the at bat. Nick Lodolo making just his 4th start since coming back from an IL stint with blisters. And his longest outing, his last time out last Monday against the Phillies, went 5 2/3. And Taylor went around on the half swing. And Lodolo has a strikeout. That's his 4th of the day. 2 out.
He went back to the well. 2 breaking balls down and in. This one called that he went through. Jimenez, the first base umpire, very aggressive in calling that check swing.
So 2 out. Another chance for Nick Morbido. Took a call 3rd strike his first time. Reaches for that changeup and fouls it off. 0-1. Rookies everywhere.
Yeah.
Changeup missed below the knees, and it's 1-1. '23-year-old Nick Morbido looking for that elusive first big league hit. Late on the fastball, and it's 1-2. Nick was hitting .253 in 41 games at Syracuse. Guy known more for his speed tool than any other. Ewing at first with 2 out. And Morbido goes down to the curveball, side retired. 5 strikeouts for Lodolo through 4 scoreless innings. 7-0 Reds. 5th inning at Citi Field on Memorial Day. Eugenio Suarez, who led off the 4th, leads off the 5th. He's had himself quite a career. Twice has hit 49 home runs in a season. He's had a 4 home run game in his career.
Yes, he has. I always liked the baseball card that had an action photo, not the fake swing.
Well, did you like the cartoons on the back?
Of course I did. Even when I was a kid, I liked the flat bubble gum. Remember that terrible flat gum bubble gum they used to put in the pack?
But you always ate it.
The flavor lasted for around 15 seconds.
You know, you were talking about old coffee and donuts before. If you open a baseball card pack from the 1980s with a stick of gum in it, do you think it's changed at all?
I think it still tastes
It's the same exact gum because it was hard as a rock in 1985. Suarez lines one down the left field line. That's going to go into the corner for extra bases. So Suarez on base for the third time. A single, a walk, and now a leadoff double in the fifth.
Hanging breaking ball here.
And down.
Yeah, he likes the ball down.
Yeah. Remember, almost everybody now, right and left, love the ball down.
You know, Eugenio Suarez has had himself a great career. He's at 328 big league home runs. But the biggest moment of his big league career came in March this year when he hit the shot that put Venezuela over the top and made them WBC champions.
Right.
Did you see his interview after
I
that?
know, like tears in his eyes.
He was so beside himself at what he and his Venezuelan teammates had accomplished.
I think that, you know, there's so much more going on for that Venezuela team other than just the ball game, and you know, it had a lot to do with their family at home and all of those things. There's just a lot of things that were on their plate that was released when they won the championship.
And there's a tremendous amount of pride in the country, but also in the baseball in Venezuela. Going all the way back to Chico Carrasquel coming up in the 50s, and David Concepcion, Luis Aparicio, and all those guys who kind of set the stage for the plethora of players from Venezuela who are in the big leagues today.
Boy, David Concepcion was quite a player.
Yes, he was. 300 hitter at shortstop.
Picked everything.
Probably the biggest baseball hero in Venezuelan history was Andres Galarraga.
Big cat.
He was considered like a god in Venezuela. Not just his baseball ability, but his personality. Lower lines went to center, and Ewing is there to grab him, and that's the first out. There's Suarez holding the trophy after Venezuela won the WBC championship.
Salvador Perez right behind him. He's a player that is beloved by any team he is on and by his teammates.
Now Spencer Steer has driven in 3 runs today. Got a run home on a fielder's choice in the second, and then have a 2-run single up the middle in the fourth that helped chase McLean. Nolan went 3 1/3, allowed 7 runs and 5 hits. Walked 2, struck out 6. McLean's ERA has ballooned up to 4.40. These last 2 outings have taken a huge toll. He doesn't care.
No.
No, that hand is tasty.
He's in his dad's arms.
And sweeper drops in for a strike. 2-1 to Steer. Reds made it to the postseason last year, edging out the Mets on the final day. But they immediately got swept out of the wild card series by the Dodgers. 2 straight games.
Yeah, they played 2 and barbecued after facing the Dodgers, who were on a mission.
You know, the last time the Reds won a postseason series, and I don't mean a wild card game when it was 1 game, but I mean a postseason series. Last time was 1995. The year Barry Larkin was the National League MVP.
You and I were doing the game where you thought they were going to go. What was it, 2010 or 12? One of those years when they had the 2-0 lead on San Francisco. Won the first 2 games in San Francisco.
Well, I'll tell you, one I love the most was when we got bumped off. Well, actually, I'm wrong here. When Piniella was the manager and they beat Oakland,
Yeah,
the
1990.
Bash Brothers, and they dominated them.
We'll say Rio.
They swept that series.
Yep.
Yes.
Spud McKenzie. Chris Sabo.
That's right, Chris Sabo. The Nasty Boys, of course.
Rob Dibble and Norm Charlton and
One of
Randy Meyer.
One of the great talents of the game, Eric Davis, who hurt himself in that series and had to fly himself home.
Yeah, how about that? Remember that?
Remember the owner, Marge? She was upset that they swept in 4 games, didn't have a 5th game at home. So
Well, she had to fly with that extra seat for St. Bernard.
St. Bernard, yeah, Shotzi.
So the players celebrated with hamburgers for the World Championship.
Steer goes down swinging on the sweeper. Second strikeout for Warren. 2 out in the inning. They've been a very up and down franchise the last decade. Made the postseason a couple of times, and they've had a 100-loss season in there in 2022. David Bell managed them for most of the decade. Terry Francona took over last year and led them to the postseason. Tyler Stevenson hit a 2-run homer his last time up, and that one caught Torrens.
Did that catch him in the throat or just right off the mask? And Stevenson, catcher on the other side, has the empathy.
Shoulder.
Okay.
Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Now he's not going to be able to sleep tonight on that shoulder, I guarantee you.
I mean, you got a pad there, but if that ball hits off that point of your shoulder.
Yep. And Torrens is not one to ham act. He's
Always love when
He's a trooper.
trainers come out and they rub the spot where you were hit. And they're like, "You all right?" I'm like, no, it hurts. What are you doing? Leave it alone.
Jonathan Pintaro is up in the bullpen. Made his season debut night before last in Miami. Stevenson jumped on a 2-0 pitch and clocked this ball.
That's where you're just, I'm going to get the head out. I'm going to sell out on the fastball, and he got it.
His 4th home run of the season. 1 of 2 given up on McLean today. Suarez at second. He led off the inning with a double. Still there with 2 out. And Stevenson pops one up. And that ball's going to sail out of play. 0-2 to Stevenson. So did you see the line on Jacob Mizorowski today? He held the Cardinals hitless for the first 5. In the first 5 innings, 5 innings, no runs, no hits, 10 strikeouts on 64 pitches. Oh. You know who used to do that? Dwight Good.
Yes, he did.
Anyway, he finally gave up a hit and a run in the 6th. But he wound up going 7, 2 hits, 12 strikeouts. And he threw 40 pitches of 101 miles an hour or harder. 40.
He's got the 86 fastest pitches for a starting pitcher this year.
I guess the question is, can the human arm withstand that over the long haul?
Yeah, I mean, I pray it does for him. You know, pitching in the postseason, he pitched so well for the Brewers last year in the post. I think really helped him with his confidence.
Warren strikes out Stevenson with a high fastball. So he works around the leadoff double and keeps it 7-0 halfway through. Met fans waiting for some action. That's a score 1 run in their last 30 innings. They had 2 runs and 11 hits in 3 games in Miami. No runs and 4 hits so far today. So how about the game in Baltimore today? Rays and Orioles went to extra innings. Neither team scored in the 10th. They both scored 2 in the 11th. They both scored 1 in the 12th. So now they're in the 13th.
Wow.
And Tampa Bay's gone in front of that game 7-5 in the 13th. And the go-ahead hit in his first game ever at Camden Yards as an opposing player, Cedric Mullins.
Oh.
Would have been nice if you'd gotten a few more of those for the Mets, but terrific guy. Happy that he's found a home with a winning team in Tampa Bay.
Everyone that puts on that Tampa Bay uniform, they get a little more out of it.
Amazing, isn't it? Beatty grounded out his first time up, and he waves and misses at the curveball from Lodolo, 1-2. Nick Lodolo has not walked the batter. He struck out 5, given up 4 singles over 4 innings, making just his 4th start of the year. It's only the 3rd time the Mets have ever faced Lodolo, and he has been terrific each of the first 2 times. Beatty rolls one slowly down to first. Lowe fields it for the first out.
From Laverne, California.
Inland Empire.
Yes. Ewell Blackwell, the whip, is from there. And Mr. Outside, Glenn Davis from Laverne, California.
Doc Blanchard and Glenn Davis.
Yes.
Army football.
Heisman Trophy for Glenn Davis in 1946.
Ewell Blackwell pitched for the Reds, right?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
The whip. Sidearm, right?
Yes, sir. The whip.
Ralph Kiner always used to say that the hardest pitcher he ever faced was Ewell Blackwell.
Oh, tell her R's are horrible.
Oh, my goodness.
R's? Have you been critical of people's scorekeeping?
He is.
No, I'm critical of people's handwriting and printing.
He is. He told me my D's were terrible. Considering my last name begins with a D, that's 65 years.
That's a problem right there.
No wonder Ronnie didn't like me.
Keith has never told me my handwriting was bad because he couldn't possibly read my handwriting to know it was bad.
My D's are so bad when I do a crossword puzzle, the O's, I color them in because I can't tell the difference between the O and the D.
Oh, you could put a line through it like they do in Europe with the zeros.
Do you remember in 1st and 2nd grade when I started teaching you printing and you had that brown paper that had the big lines and the double lines?
When you did with the fat pencils?
Yeah, and you did the capital letter was 2 lines, and then you did the small letters and I remember, and I was so meticulous. I just really got into it. Don't ask me why, but I just loved it.
It was strength. It was a strength for you.
This actually explains a lot.
It does. I learned how to write from the nuns, so that was problematic.
You have rulers banged on your knuckles.
Scars.
Your batter's challenging to call a strike.
They're just challenging a cold strike.
Here on this Terrence, what do you do?
He struck out swinging. And that's a strike, so the Mets are out of challenges
Ball is
for the day.
confirmed. Strike. New York is out of challenges.
It's not going right.
No, it's glum.
I was looking this up today. Remember long ago, back in June of last year,
Yes.
when the Mets had the best record in baseball? They were 45-24. Since then, they've played 146 games. In those 146 games, they're 60-86. And Bench gets in the back again. Same pitch, just about the same spot.
Oh, he got hit in the fanny that first time. This one was up in the shoulder blade. And you're right, the same pitch.
Gonna have a couple of Rob Manfreds tattooed on his back.
They mentioned Lodolo hits a lot of batters, but it's not usually this way. Usually it's the righties he's coming inside against. And now Bichette gets waylaid.
Well, just a little up in that fastball.
You don't like it up and in though when you're getting beat 7-0. Should make you angry.
And how do you then express your anger?
Hit one right through the box at about 111.
Well, last year you couldn't throw anything by Bo Bichette. This year the fastball in particular has given him trouble.
There'll be certain hitters that I face that, you know, you have to pitch them in, but occasionally one would get away from you. And if it was a guy like Andre Dawson and it went up and knocked him and helmet and everything went flying, you knew you were in trouble because he was getting even closer to the plate and was ready to hit one through the box.
He had an angry scowl on his face even in good times.
Some guys you throw it up and in, it works to your advantage. You know, they don't really want to be in the at bat as much anymore, but not the Hawk. Not most good players.
3-1 to Bichette. And he lines one the other way for a base hit. Bangs will go first to third, so Bo Bichette has his second opposite field single of the day. Looking through the box, but it was through the hole. Good enough.
Well, they're going to play him up the middle, and I don't understand why. That should have been, he should have been positioned right where he hit that ball.
I was watching Benj go from first to third. It's a thing of beauty when he gets going. He's a little crazy legs, crazy legs Hirsch, but he's flying. He's got a long stride once he gets going.
Like a gazelle.
I know, it's beautiful.
The same situation the Mets had in the third inning. First and third and 2 out for Vientos, who has struck out and grounded out today. And Mark poked one to right field, fouls off the changeup.
That's what he swung at and put in play the last time he was in this circumstance, grounded out to short.
He had a hit the other day, but he trickled through the right side of the infield. And that right side is completely open for him in this at bat.
Well, that's what's in vogue now. Just playing the opposite field middle infielder way up the middle.
It's about 85 feet of real estate.
Oh boy.
And if he's going to work your way, why not?
Verdullo's been a little erratic, despite the shutout inning so far. He's been a little erratic with his control.
Hasn't walked about him, but he's hit 2. And now it's 2 balls and strike to Vientos. Marcus Semien on deck.
2-1 change. Almost can book it.
Benj at third. Bichette at first with 2 down. That changeup is right there for a strike. Now, how'd you know that?
Because he got him out the last time he was up. He got a swinging strike the first pitch that he was up in this at bat. It's his go-to pitch. Now he might counter with a fastball in after those changeups.
And he came inside, and Vientos strikes out, takes off for first base. A run's going to score, and Vientos reaches first base safely.
The ball hit him. Ball hit him. Gary, was that? Is that ball
also
dead?
it's a dead ball.
Dead ball. Bases loaded.
So he swung, they say, and the ball hit him. So it's a dead ball, strike 3, no run scored.
Correct. Yep.
See, it definitely hit him in the leg. So that's how the inning ends. Mets lead 2 in the 5th. Check out the Blue Hawks from Roslyn.
Nice. Oh, 2 hands.
Look at that.
Right in front of the ball.
Oh, the great fundies.
Van Hawken.
Oh, yeah, see, he didn't fill it off to the side. Oh, look at the kid with the looking out of the corner of his eye.
Lots of smiles on that bench.
Shoot. Oh, look at that. It might be another Bill Dickey. You never know.
It's a very thoughtful look.
Yes.
Really studying the game. Hello, Aces.
The traveling aces.
Jonathan Pintaro on to pitch the 6th inning. Pintaro made his season debut 2 nights ago in Miami. Worked a 1-2-3 inning.
Featured that fastball, sinker, sinking fastball, slider, and split finger.
Don't miss the chance to have your youth baseball or softball team's picture featured in an upcoming Mets game on SNY. Just scan the code and submit your team photo today. Matt McLean's been up twice, grounded out to short both times. Austin Warren worked an inning and 2/3 in relief. No runs, 1 hit, a walk, 3 strikeouts. And Pintaro strikes out McLean on 3 pitches. Got him that cutter for the 1st out. We chronicled the other night the path that Jonathan Pintaro took to the big leagues, going to play for the Glacier Ridge Riders in Kalispell, Montana. I was asking Jonathan about that experience today, and he told me that his manager up there in Montana was Stu Peterson. Stu Peterson is Jock Peterson's dad.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. So that's an interesting thing. Still, I asked him if he's been back to Montana since. He said, no, I spend my winters in Alabama. He said it was beautiful there in the summertime.
Oh, it's so beautiful, and it's on the western part of the Rocky Mountain time zone. So you get out at dinner at 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. It's still bright out. Beautiful.
Blake Dunn is 0 for 2. Was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. Ground ball past the mound, but Simeon's right there at the bag. 2 out. The best thing for Pintaro is, you know, last year he made his debut. He pitched in 1 game against the Braves.
Right.
He was here for 1 day, and then they sent him right back. He said just the experience of pitching and not being sent down, that was thrilling. He got to spend a 2nd day.
And getting on a team flight.
Yeah.
Right.
So there you go. Baby steps. 2 out, nobody on. Here's Ellie De La Cruz, who's 0 for 3 today. And he takes a cutter for a strike, 0-1. De La Cruz still strikes out a lot. But he's made a big change this year in his whiff rate on fastballs. Last year he swung and missed at fastballs 28% of the time. This year half as often, only 14%. And that's made a huge difference in his game. His OPS about 100 points higher than last year. Still only 24 years old. You just can't even imagine how much ability this guy has and the different ways that it might come out over the next few years.
When you look at players like this and you say to yourself, there's an MVP in there if he puts it all together one season.
Between the ability at shortstop and the speed and the power, both sides of the plate, it's all there. Change up outside, 3-2. J.J. Bleday would be next. Three-two from Pintaro. And he struck him out with the fastball. So Pintaro with a 1-2-3 inning, a couple of strikeouts along the way. 7-0 Reds. Doesn't matter how bad things are going in the field, it's always fun to be out at the ballpark.
That's right.
Look at those smiles. Marcus Semien leading off the bottom of the 6th against Nick Lodolo. And he takes a fastball upstairs, 2-0. Semien on base it up the middle his last time up. Semien, then Ewing and Taylor for the Mets in the bottom of the 6th. And now 3-0. Keep in mind this is only Lodolo's 4th start of the year. pitched in a week, so he's fully rested, but still trying to get his legs under him. And honestly, weird to say since he's thrown 5 scoreless innings, but he has not been at his dominant best.
No, he can get on a roll where he is just pinpointing the pitches in and out. And he can't challenge it. That ball's down, but he can't challenge it because the Mets are out of challenges.
I thought it was a strike. I thought it was knee high.
You're better than I am at this.
Look at you.
I'm
You're
very
defending
fair.
the pitcher and you're defending the hitter.
I'm very fair.
What's going on here?
Coming back in.
And Semien got jammed and popped it up in foul ground. Lowe comes over for a look, but it's in the dugout. Off the top of my water bottle, I can't find it. I'll try not to spill. Semien blasts one to left, and that'll get the Mets on the board. Marcus Semien crushes one into the seats in left field for his 4th home run of the year. So the Mets mark against Lodolo in the 6th on a blast from Marcus Semien to cut the Reds' lead to 7-1. Nice to know it's still in there.
Yes.
Fastball down in the strike zone. 7-run lead. 3-2 count.
Now A.J. Ewing, who's 1 for 2 today.
Very compact swing from Semien there. That ball was in. He likes that ball middle in. Ewing has had 2 good at bats against this tough lefty.
Weiss has pulled the ball today. Once in the right field, once right at the first baseman. He hits this one in the air to right center, angling on it to steer. He's got it. That is the first outfield putout behind Lodolo today.
Another look at the home run here. Shoulder tucked. Oh, right on the barrel.
So on a day the Mets have been striking out or hitting the ball on the ground, Lodolo's given up 2 fly balls in a row, 1 out of the ballpark and 1 routine. T.J. Antone and Brock Burke up in the bullpen. It's great to see Antone pitching again.
Yeah.
3-time Tommy John survivor.
Oh boy.
Johnny Venter's the only other guy I remember coming back from 3 Tommy Johns. Slowly hit on the left side. Charging in is Stewart. And Taylor still getting out of the box. Looks like he might have hurt himself.
Oh boy.
Dragging that right leg.
That might be a hammy. Oh.
He's going to immediately go down to the tunnel with the athletic trainer Joe Golia. So that is the last thing in the world the Mets need. Another player appearing to be lost to injury. Hope it's maybe a cramp or something, but yeah.
Wishful thinking, I believe. Yeah. Sorry to be negative, but you never know. You never know. Let's see where he got hurt here. Coming out of the box.
First step.
Coming out of the box.
Orbito lines one to center field, but in comes Dunn to make the catch. Orbito making a bid for his first big league hit, but Dunn was there to grab it. Semien's home run cuts the Reds' lead to 7-1. Well, Tyrone Taylor comes out of the game. MJ Melendez will come into play right. Nick Morabito will go to Melendez and play left, and Morabito will move to right as Jonathan Pintaro starts his second inning of relief. J.J. Bleday hit a home run back in the third, and he pulls one on the ground. Vientos with a nice stop. And Bleday is retired, one down in the seventh.
Oh, instantly out of the box. Right leg, it looks like.
Well, the Mets are already missing half of their lineup, including Juan Soto, who's sitting for a second straight game under the weather. Stewart takes a cutter for a strike.
Well, there you have it.
Polanco's probably the closest to returning among the position players. Senga's going to make a second rehab start on Thursday after pitching into the fourth inning over the weekend.
What's going on with Robert?
Nothing.
What do you mean nothing?
I mean, he's not doing any kind of activities other than getting treatment in the trainer's room.
Really? I mean, he didn't make our notables, but Young has a chance to come back soon.
Yes, that's true. Jared Young could be back as early as tomorrow, which would be a big plus. He was swinging the bat very well when he got hurt.
Yeah, he's dangerous up there. I like him.
He was another torn meniscus, right?
Yes.
Hoffman had the torn meniscus, and then Young, and then Alvarez. Also on the horizon, maybe tomorrow or the next day, A.J. Minter should be finally activated after more than 13 months on the injured list.
And that'll give another lefty out there to go tandem with Rayleigh, because Manaya's still going to be your long guy. So that gives you two quality left-handers out of the bullpen. There's Brooks, he's a wonderful guy. What a pro.
He's been just great since he came back from Tommy John surgery last year. 2-2 to Stewart. But, I mean, Minter was a big pickup for the Mets last year. Was pitching very well early in the season and then tore his lat muscle. And it's been a very, very long road back. More than a year. And he is a quality left-hander out of the pen. Ground ball for Semien. He backs up to field the hop and throws out Stewart 2 away. So that's 5 up and 5 down for Jonathan Pintaro, who's now retired all 8 batters he's faced since coming up. So 2 out and nobody on, and now Eugenio Suarez is yet to be retired today. Single, a walk, a double. He scored 2 runs. Takes a cutter for a strike, 0-1. Brock Burke, the lefty, up in the Cincinnati bullpen, with Lodolo having gone 6 quality innings.
Francona figures Lodolo from the left side. It worked for 6 innings. Let's keep it going.
Interesting how Suarez, very upright, but watch him though when the pitcher starts his windup, he gets down in that hitting position.
Yeah, that initial position looks like, you know, guys that play slow pitch softball.
Yeah.
They kind of just stand straight up.
Or it's BP.
Yeah, BP. But you're right. He jumps into position.
Yep. He got the bat horizontal. And then he kind of bends the knees and tucks that shoulder.
Pops this one up in foul ground. Torrens hoping for a play. Good have room. And he's got it. Side retired. 6 up and 6 down for Jonathan Pintaro. It's 7th inning stretch time on Memorial Day.
Fans, please rise and remove your caps as we honor our great nation and all the men and women who help keep us safe and free with the singing of God Bless America. Please welcome Chief Warrant Officer 2 Franklin Lee of the United States Army.
God bless America, the land that I love. Stand beside her and from the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Our thanks to Franklin.
Tomorrow,
New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by USAA. This Memorial Day, let's honor what was given. By Hyundai. Hyundai gives you America's best warranty on every new vehicle. Visit Hyundai.com for more information. And by Moomoo, home field of smart trading. Moomoo Financial Inc., member FINRA SIPC. That's the Reds go to their bullpen as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Veteran left-hander Brock Burke is in. And Brett Beatty takes his first slider outside for ball 1.
Catcher is challenging a ball call.
See the numbers of Brock Burke. 3.38 ERA doesn't really illustrate how well he's pitched.
Oh,
He
it's
gave up 5
overturned.
runs
It's
in
right.
an inning.
Cincinnati has 2
Against
challenges
Pittsburgh.
remaining.
Tyler Stevenson turns a ball into a strike, so it's 0-1 to Beatty, who's grounded out in his 2 at-bats. Torrens and Benj to follow in the 7th. Good outing for Nick Lodolo. 98 pitches, a season high over 6 innings. Also a season high. 1 run, 6 hits, no walks, 7 strikeouts, 2 hit batsmen, a home run. Beatty golfs one toward the left field corner. Over comes Bleday. Reaches, can't get it. It's down for an extra base hit. And Beatty pulls in at second base with a double. Bleday almost got to that ball, but rather than sliding, he just reached down and he didn't catch it.
Well, he was kind of befuddled by that right off the bat. He was drifting, didn't really get over there in time. And the ball just kept drifting away from him.
So the Mets lead off a second straight inning with an extra base hit. This Reds bullpen, when they got off to a hot start this year, was a huge strength. But then Emilio Pagan, their closer, got hurt, and since then it has been a real weakness. Their first 23 games, the bullpen ERA was 2.23. 29 games since, 7.25. That's hoping to stage a big rally against this Cincinnati bullpen. Luis Torrens hits one past the mound. McLean, the second baseman, throws out Torrens as Beatty goes to third, 1 out.
Well, here's the double, and watch the spin on the ball as it hits the ground. It's got a wow.
Oh, tipped his glove, didn't it? It was real close. It was hard to tell. That's one of those where you got to sprint over there and not time it.
You know, any left-hander that usually hits a ball down the left field line, or a right-hander that hits the ball right down the line, and it's got a lot of air in it. It's usually kind of an inside out, and it's going to tail away from the outfield, or tail towards the line.
And it'll sit down, not carry as well.
Carson Benj has been aboard all 3 times today. Twice hit by a pitch. Had a single to left center in between. And snapped an 0 for 14 stretch for him. Infield back with a 6-run lead. And Benj takes a high slider for a strike, and it's 1-2. Beatty at third with 1 out. And Danish fouls off the fastball. 98 for Burke. Well, there are the Mets rookie position players. They're outfielders, all young, all just getting started. Bench has been here all season. Ewing the last 2.5 weeks. Morabito less than a week.
So critical for them, and so fortunate. Timing is everything for them to get a chance to play every day.
Burke's got a loud grunt as he lets go of his pitches. You can hear it up here.
Brock Burke started his big league career in Texas, went to Anaheim for the last year and a half. He was in 69 games for the Angels last year. 1-2. Fly ball along the left field side. Bleday over near the sidewall, but that'll go out of play. Burke was acquired in a three-way trade. The Reds in that deal sent Gavin Lux to Tampa Bay. Seventh pitch of the at bat coming to Ben. And that's away. 99 from Burke. 2-2.
Brock Burke his entire life has suffered from somnambulism, sleepwalker.
Really?
Yeah, when he was in the minor leagues, a lot of times his roommates would catch him walking around the hotel.
Line off the pitcher and out to De La Cruz. A run will come home on the ground out by Benj. Beatty scores to cut the Reds' lead to 7-2.
Oh, I have a. Well, maybe I won't. Somnambulist story. One of our. That's going to be all. There's Terry Francona going out there. One of our old TV announcers, Bob Starr, walked in his sleep, and we were evidently in Pittsburgh at the old Pittsburgh Hilton, and he walked in the hallway with no clothes on. And security came up.
I hope there's no more to that story.
There was no more to it, but security came up and let him in his room.
TJ Antone coming in. We'll be right back to Citi Field.
Restrictions apply.
Our baseball insiders break down all the latest Mets and Yankees storylines on Baseball Night in New York, weeknights at 6 p.m. only on SNY. High-speed hitting today. Bo Bichette's single in the fifth inning, the hardest hit ball. Bo's got 2 hits today. Both have gone to right field. He'll bat now against TJ Antone. And TJ is his actual first name.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his parents named him after the surgery he would have to have 3 separate times.
Yeah.
Over the last 5 seasons before this, TJ Antone has pitched in a total of 9 games because of those multiple Tommy John surgeries.
Oklahoma City.
2017, 2021, and 2024 for Antone.
He's struggled so far since coming back, but generally, whenever he's been able to go to the mound for the Reds, he's been enormously successful. Good breaking stuff. Ahead on Bichette, 1-2. And goes away with a fastball, 2-2.
I mean, 3 Tommy Johns and still able to throw 96. Crazy.
The medical technology keeps getting better. So maybe they'll have the nanoscope for Tommy John. Get your Tommy John, come back a month later.
There you go.
It'll happen at some point.
Yeah, it will.
Enough pitchers keep breaking it. Certainly enhances the incentives.
Speaking of Tommy John should be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
How many games did he win? After
Almost
Tommy
290.
John? Wow, but almost 170
Yeah,
after
Tremendous postseason numbers. He should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know why he's not.
They wouldn't even put him on the mound today.
Hard sinker and just a wicked slider.
I just want to know why Frank Jobe didn't name the surgery after himself.
That's right.
Instead of after the recipient. 2-2 coming. And he skips that one in. 3-2.
Look at that stiff leg and the right leg. He had a hard sinker and a hard slider, and he was a competitor.
Three-2 to Bichette. And he lines one into right center, and he's going to have his 3rd hit of the day. So Bo Bichette 3 separate times has gone the other way, and he's had a 3-hit afternoon.
Well, he just stayed outside against Bichette, so he could just eliminate the inside part of the plate. So a pitch, even though it's 6 inches off the plate, Bichette still handled it.
And he's on top of the plate, too.
So now Mark Vientos has had a rough afternoon. 2 strikeouts and a ground out. And up with men on base every at bat. And he takes a sweeper for a strike, 0-1. Goes for a pitch, roll out of the strike zone. It's 0-2. Sam Maul, the left-hander, is up in the Cincinnati bullpen. Vientos just watched an at bat where Antone kept everything away from Bichette, and he's keeping everything away from him. I mean, as a hitter, Keith, how hard is it to make that adjustment and say, okay, I'm going to go to right field?
It's not really an adjustment. It's each at bat you have your tactics you watch, and it's really just going up the middle to cover the plate there. You're not doing anything different. Remember the big year that Vientos had? It's been what, 2-3 years?
2 years.
He was going to right center field a lot, and he has seemed to have lost it.
He hits that one through the hole. A great diving stop by Dylan Cruz, and he throws. No, he does not get him at first as Lowe can't handle the hop. Well, that ball was ticketed for left field, and Dylan Cruz made an amazing stop and should have had the out at first, but Lowe unable to hang on to what looked like a routine one hop.
It was an in-between hop, not an easy pick, Garrett. He could have. No, he's rushing to throw. And it was kind of a long hop, but don't forget this guy's got a cannon, and he's throwing it over there at what, over 100 miles per hour? I don't know.
I think if he had known Vientos' speed better, he would have stood up and just thrown a strike over there.
Could have given him a longer hop.
And they're going to score that a base hit.
Yeah.
Which I think will be changed.
I knew they'd do that, Garrett.
Well, here's the thing. The dive to stop the ball and the throw to first are 2 separate plays for the official score. Once he had the ball, it was a routine play. So I think it's going to get changed to an error. Marcus Semien homered his last time up.
I mean, no one will admit it, but I think there is pressure on every official scorer to give as many hits as they can. Talking about a league that's hitting 240 as an industry.
That's a heck of a play.
And that ball's behind him. It's an amazing play. Semien pulls one, and this one's handled by Stewart with the sit spin, and he throws him out at first.
That's a fine play.
Stewart's made a couple of beautiful plays today at third base. Let's get just the 1 run on 3 hits.
Gary and Todd, Mercedes-Benz postgame live is on the way. Another tough outing, Todd, for Nolan McLean.
Yeah, I'm going to look a little deeper at what I think might be contributing to the bad outings here.
All right, we will see you guys coming up on our postgame show. Gary.
All right, guys, Jonathan Pintaro goes out there for a 3rd inning of relief. He's been 6 up and 6 down so far. Nathaniel Lowe leads off against him. Lowe has walked at a fly ball double and then lined out to center field. 1 for 2 on the day. Mets have out hit the Reds 9-6 today, but it's 7-2 Cincinnati. And Cutter bends in for a strike, and it's 1-1. McLean gave up 7 runs on 5 hits and 3 1/3. Austin Warren, a scoreless inning in 2/3, and now Pintaro, 2 perfect innings. So when we last left you in that Baltimore-Tampa Bay game today, Tampa Bay had scored 2 runs in the top of the 13th. Cedric Mullins put them ahead. Well, the Orioles tied it up, and then Colton Cowser, for the 2nd straight day, hit a walk-off home run.
3-run homer?
2-run.
Oh, okay, because yesterday was a 3-run homer.
Wow.
That's pretty good. 2 in 2 days. Spencer Steer on deck, and then Tyler Stevenson in the top of the 8th. Reds need a win to stay out of last place in the National League Central, which is crazy because they're 2 games over 500. But the Pirates won today. Pirates were a half game behind the Reds when the day began. Three and 2 to Lowe leading off.
The reason why I'm chuckling ball forward here, I just got a text from Bob Costas, who's evidently watching, and he's laughing about the Bob's.
He's adding to the Bob.
Adding to the Bob's. Okay.
Is he adding any? Is he adding any details that you can share with the class?
I was not. Thank God I wasn't an eyewitness to this.
Oh, was Bob?
I don't know. How are you, Bob?
That was interesting to see Tobias Myers up.
Dane Myers running for Lowe at first base. So the word on Tyrone Taylor is that he left the game with hip pain, so it wasn't his hamstring.
Okay.
Spencer Steer drove in 3 runs early in this game with a fielder's choice and a single. 1 for 3 on the day. Myers, the former Marlin, on at first base. And then Cutter catches the outside corner for a strike. 1-1 to Steer. And Steer swings and misses at a Cutter, and it's 1-2.
Now I got the big base hit here up the middle. 2 RBI.
Infield in.
You see how Suarez, who scored the first run of that play, steered the second run home?
Yes, he did. That's he's been playing long enough that was still in vogue when he started. You don't see that as much anymore.
Steer hits a slow ground ball. In comes Bichette out at second. It's turned by Semien, not nearly in time to get Steer at first. So 1 out and 1 on.
See, and telling him to slide to the outside.
Yep.
Suarez.
That's very good. That's what your job is when you're in the on-deck circle.
But he wasn't in the on-deck circle.
No.
He scored ahead of Lowe.
Okay.
Turned around quickly.
Yeah.
You can do that well. You can do that as well.
So 1 out and 1 on. Tyler Stevenson and a 2-run homer. And really put a crimp in Nolan McLean's day. And made it 7-0 in the 4th inning. It's a scratch back couple of runs, but down by 5 with only 6 outs to play with. Cutter on the outside corner. Pitaro really is leaning heavily on that pitch.
He is, and he just looks so composed. You remember that one and done outing he had last year? You could tell he was just so nervous, but so self-assured in these first 2 outings.
Coming to Stevenson. Fouls away the fastball. Check out the road ahead. Your radio home for the Mets is 880 AM and streaming on the free Odyssey app. Night games tomorrow and Wednesday. Day off Thursday. Marlins are in over the weekend. And then the Mets head back to the West Coast. 4th time in 5 road trips. Seattle and San Diego on the docket to start June.
That's going to be Steve and I together in San Diego.
Strike 3 called. Stevenson caught looking. 3rd strikeout. How do you feel about that?
Oh, you know what? My granddaughter moved to San Diego, so it's okay.
Because you were not originally supposed to be going to San Diego.
I feel bad for Todd Zeal because that was his schedule. And Todd, when I went down in St. Louis, Todd flew in the morning to cover for me in that 3rd game. And that's going to be all for Quintero. And then went on to San Francisco and did 4. And I know he's got family out there, so I feel bad about it. But you know what? Those decisions aren't mine.
Well above your pay grade, apparently. Tobias Myers coming in to replace Jonathan Pintaro. Thanks for sharing, Keith. We're in the 8th inning. Lots to do in the ballpark. You can go wander around, get some food, or you can just hang off the railing.
Yeah, just make it into your own personal jungle gym.
Just like the old jungle gyms with the concrete underneath.
That's right.
Tobias Myers on the pitch for the Mets with 2 out of the 8th to face Matt McLean, who's gone 0 for 3, 2 ground outs and a strikeout.
Pitch count.
Once a game, like clockwork. I can't hear it. Can you hear? I can't hear. Let me put my earpiece in. Do you hear anything? I'm pressing the button. No, I don't hear anything.
Do you know that Tobias Myers, when he pitches, he has a hard plastic insert that he puts in his hat to protect his temples when he's pitching?
I remember we made that comment when the left-hander, Phil made that play with the Yankees now, the starter that was with the Braves then. He made that play down the line. And I said, you know what? That pitch com in the top side of the head and the hat, if you fall on it, that can hurt you.
Yeah.
Everybody should be wearing the Alex Torres hat.
No. I like the plastic insert that Tobias is. Just a little protection.
Now ready to go. And straight over the top. And for a strike, nothing at 1. Well, quite an outing for Jonathan Pintaro in just his 3rd major league appearance, 2nd this year. 2 2/3 innings, no hits. Walk, 3 strikeouts. And now Myers quickly ahead on McLean, 0-2.
Nice job by Pintaro. Keeping the club in. The bullpen has been spotless.
Runner goes, swung and missed, strike 3. So Myers comes in and strikes out McLean on 3 pitches. That sends us to the bottom of the 8th. That's down 7-2. Well, everybody in the National League Central is over 500. The Brewers have been the class of the division. The Cardinals are the biggest surprise. The Cubs have had 2 10-game winning streaks. Now they've lost 9 in a row. The Reds have struggled lately because of their bullpen, and the Pirates are on pace to score more runs than they've scored in any season since 1940, which is amazing when you think about those great hitting teams they had in the 70s and 80s. Sam Maul is on to pitch for the Reds.
Originally drafted by the Rockies, played for the Athletics, the Giants. Left-hander has moved around.
A.J. Ewing leads off in the bottom of the 8th with the Mets down 7-2, and Maul slings one in for a strike. Dane Myers, a pinch ran, stays in right field. Blake Dunn moves to right. Spencer Steer moves to first base. Ewing, then Melendez and Morbido for the Mets in the 8th. Sweeper misses outside. Ball and a strike.
Well, if the Mets are going to try to make a game of this, they're going to have to put some points on the board. And this Cincinnati bullpen has not been good.
Ewing's 1 for 3 on the day. All the 4th Cincinnati pitcher of the afternoon. And Ewing takes a fastball for a strike 3 call. So 1 out and nobody on. Now MJ Melendez will come up for the first time. Melendez took over after Tyrone Taylor left the game with hip pain as he came out of the batter's box in the 6th inning on a ground out. Melendez got a base hit his last time up yesterday. Only his 2nd hit in his last 31 at-bats. Go New York, go New York, go New York, go.
Up 3-0 in that series against the Cavaliers.
Oh, but you know what the coach said, right?
The
coach said
Kenny Atkinson for the Cow.
Analytically, we were better than them in 2 of the 3 games. Analytically.
Do you think that he was taking a shot at his analytics people?
100%. Yeah.
And everybody took it the wrong way because he's getting hammered.
Yeah. Well, they had that big lead in game 1.
You know, they blew a 20-game lead. They had, but analytically, you know.
Now, here's the thing about all the Knicks gear in the crowd. Strike 3 called to Melendez, so back-to-back strikeouts from all. You can tell the true believers from the bandwagon riders by the age of the paraphernalia.
Oh, okay.
The people in the brand new Knicks shirts and hats, they just got aboard.
Yeah, well, that happens all the time.
Of course
right?
it does.
Who won that Spur game last night? Spurs won. That big monster.
You see Wemby hit a 45-footer?
Yes, I saw it at halftime, right at the gun. At the buzzer, I should say. And what I liked most about, I watched a little bit of the game, was that the Spurs wore their traditional home whites. They were in white uniforms, not their road. When we were kids growing up, it was always the home team wore the whites, and the visiting team, when you were visitors, you wore the colors.
Devo is here.
Yes, we are Devo.
DEVO. Are we not men? One to Nick Morabito. He's 0 for 3 today. 0 for 10 to start his career with 7 strikeouts, but he hit the ball hard his last time up, lined out to center field. Yeah, that one's on the inside corner for a strike, and it's 2-2.
You know, when you're out of challenges, it really frees the umpire up in these kind of lopsided games.
You know, that would be a very interesting thing to study.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
Whether the umpires call more strikes in the shadow zone after a team's out of challenges. Shadow zone, that edge of the plate, just a piece of the ball might nick the outside corner. And Morabito down on strikes, so Mall strikes out the side in the bottom of the 8th. 10 strikeouts for Red pitchers. They lead 7-2 as we go to the 9th on Memorial Day at Citi Field.
That's
9th inning at Citi Field. Tobias Myers got the last out of the 8th. Stays on for the 9th. Blake Dunn fakes a bunt and takes a strike. Dunn is 0 for 3 and been hit by a pitch. It's the 9th game that he started for the Reds this year. Top 2 guys in the order haven't done much. Dunn and De La Cruz are combined 0 for 7. Hasn't mattered. That was the case in Miami too. It was the bottom part of the order that really hurt the Mets.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9 really had a good series for the Fish.
Well, when you're scoring only 1 or 2 runs every day, it doesn't take a lot to beat you. I mean, the Marlins only scored 10 runs in that series, and 4 of them came on the last swing of the bat. And yet they swept the 3 games.
Brooksy's first Met game.
Named after Brooks Raley?
Maybe.
Big fan. Dad's partying like it's 1986. I don't think Dad was alive in 1986. That's the thing. We've now had an entire generation of Mets fans who do not remember 1986.
Correct. We're going to come on the field on August 1st. And half the people
Who?
Who's that guy? Boy, they look old.
You know what I tell
How come
them?
they're not walking as quick as they used to?
Back to Semien right in front of the ground ball, and he throws out Dunn one away.
You know, when I run across those kind of generational guys and girls, women, I tell them, you missed it.
Well, they missed that.
They missed it.
But there'll be something else to take its place someday.
They missed the 16 innings in Houston when everybody was sitting watching in the streets. We got home, what, around 6 in the morning?
Yeah.
Fastball strike to Ellie De La Cruz. Well, you know, it's only been 40 years. Cubs fans have to wait 180 years.
Okay.
Or
it's over half my life. Think about it.
Yeah, mine too.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What Keith is referring to is then that 16-inning game against Houston. I think the game started at 3 o'clock in Houston.
4 o'clock
So
New York time.
people were getting out of work and ready to get on the train, and they were stopping outside of the Crazy Eddies.
Yes.
And watching on the TVs because the game kept going on, and they kept looking and figuring out what train they were going to take next. They couldn't give up watching those innings.
Now they'd just be watching it on the train on their phone.
Streaming it.
And they oh, good.
De La Cruz strikes out for the 4th time today.
You know what they missed too? They missed those great Crazy Eddie commercials.
They're insane. J.J. Bleday homered back in the 3rd. And he takes a splitter for a strike, 0-1.
Turns out those prices were insane.
Well,
yes.
I mean, there's only so much you can do. Well, the Mets bullpen has gotten 16 outs today.
Yes, they have.
And only given up 1 hit. Nolan McLean got cuffed around. Gave up 7 runs, including a couple of home runs. Graham Ashcraft, Caleb Ferguson, both getting ready in the Cincinnati bullpen. And Bleday pops one up. Beatty coming into foul ground, so is Torrens, and it's out of play. By the way, for Ellie De La Cruz, that is the 11th time in his career he has worn the golden sombrero. Oh, and he's only 24. A lot to like in his game, but still plenty of swing and miss. He struck out 69 times now this year. Myers ahead 0-2, and Bleday takes up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. In the bottom of the 9th, the Mets will have 8, 9, and 1 coming up. Beatty, Torrens, and Bench. The question is, if the Mets get something going in the bottom of the 9th and get a couple of runs in, a couple of runners on base, is Juan Soto available to get off the sick bed and give the Mets one at bat?
It would have to be, or it would be a game-tying situation, I would think.
At least. I mean, Carlos Mendoza said before the game that Juan had fever last night, that he was feeling terrible this morning. He said we'll see what happens in the next few hours and whether he would be available. So we don't know what's transpired in the 4 hours since he said that. 2-2 to Bleday. And he pops that one foul back. That virus has been going around the club. Our truck has been hit by it.
Yes?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Who's down?
Nobody's down. Everybody's playing through it.
That's okay. That's cold in that truck with the AC. You know.
Good splitter by Myers to strike out Bleday. He gets all 4 that he faces. That's come up at the bottom of the 9th. this Memorial Day, when we commemorate those who sacrificed their lives for our country. Day to wear the red, white, blue proudly. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Mets down 7-2. Graham Ashcraft will come in to try and finish it off for the Reds.
Ashcraft's numbers are solid. Boy, that bullpen's getting a lot of work. Each and every guy from the bullpen that comes in has 25+ appearances.
Brett Beatty leads off in the ninth. Beatty hit an opposite field double and scored his last time up, and goes after the first fastball from Ashcraft. 0-1. Graham Ashcraft, no relation to Brandon Ashcraft, who pitches for the Pirates, and he's gotten off to a really good start as a starting pitcher.
Let's go Mets chance.
Graham is from the Huntsville, Alabama Ashcrafts. Time to Sports Night comes your way tonight at 11. All the rest on today's game. Get you ready for the Knicks. Play game 4 tonight. And the slider just missed. Stevenson uses the ball to tap himself on the head.
Borderline. This could go either way.
It's a strike. Just nipped the top corner of the zone. So Ashcraft has a strikeout to start the ninth inning.
I mean, there was no doubt where that one was going, right? Considering what's going on.
With the 2 runs today, the Mets have scored 6 runs in their last 5 games. Luis Torrens has gone 0 for 3 today. 2 groundouts and a strikeout. Carson Bench next. And that slider in for a strike. 0-1. Ashcraft trying to finish it off for Nick Lodolo, who went the first 6 innings. A lot of run on 6 hits. Brock Burke gave up a run in 2/3 of an inning. T.J. Antone gave up 2 hits, but no runs in his 1/3 of an inning. Sam Maul struck out the side of the 8th, and now Ashcraft trying to get the final 2 outs. And quickly ahead on Torrens, 0-2. Oh-2 coming. Buries that slider down. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Game 2 of the series tomorrow night. David Peterson will be pitching either as a starter or as a bulk reliever against the Reds ace Chase Burns. That's the thing about this Reds team. They have 2 really good starting pitchers on the shelf. Hunter Green, who is supposed to be their ace, and Rhett Lauder, who was pitching very well before he developed a little shoulder soreness. But their starters are still pretty good. So Lodolo today, Burns tomorrow, Andrew Abbott on Wednesday. Torrens down on a high fastball. That's a dozen strikeouts for Reds pitching, and the Mets are down to their final out of the day. The Mets do not score here in the ninth. It will be the 24th time in 54 games that the Mets have scored 2 runs or fewer. Nearly half the game. And the plane didn't really give the Mets much of a chance today, but for the most part the Mets have pitched well, and despite pitching well, they found themselves on the short end far too often. Ball and a strike to Bench, who's been on base 3 times and drove in a run with a ground out in the 7th. Bench takes a slider for a strike, and the Mets are down to their final strike. Well, Bichette would be next. Bichette's got a 3-hit day working. One-two from Ashcraft. That's too high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 coming. Punched behind the mound. In comes De La Cruz. And that'll do it for the Reds. Ashcraft works a 1-2-3 ninth. And on a day when Nolan McLean did not have it, the Reds win the opening game of this series 7-2.
Well, the big fourth inning where the Reds sent 9 players up to the plate. They scored 4 runs in that inning. The big hits were off Steer, the base hit with the infield in, bases loaded, I believe. The 2 runs scored, and then Stevenson followed with a 2-run home run, and that just blew the game out. Gave them a 7-0 lead, and they never looked back.
6 runs in their last 5 games, the Mets offense.
There's your game summary. The Mets fall to 10 games under 500 as they lose their 4th in a row, 6 of their last 7. As the Reds win this one 7-2. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Moo Moo, home field of smart trading. Moo Moo Financial Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. By Prevagen. By Tunnel to Towers, donate $11 a month and amplifier impact with a car or land donation at T2T.org. And by your local Honda dealers, contact your local Honda dealer today. Final score today, the Reds 7, the Mets 2. Game 2 of the series tomorrow night. David Peterson will be on the mound at some point. 7:10 first pitch. Coverage begins tomorrow at 6:30 right here on SNY. Now for Keith Hernandez, Ron Darling, Steve Gelbs, and our entire SNY crew, I'm Gary Cohen at Citi Field. After this break, it's Mercedes-Benz Postgame Live with Gary and Todd.